Horus was one of the most significant gods in ancient Egyptian mythology, associated with kingship, the sky, and war. He was often depicted as a falcon-headed man or as a falcon itself. Horus was believed to be the son of Osiris and Isis and was regarded as the rightful ruler of Egypt, symbolizing the pharaoh's role as a divine ruler. Horus, in ancient Egyptian religion, a god in the form of a falcon whose right eye was the sun or morning star, representing power and quintessence, and whose left eye was the moon or evening star, representing healing. Falcon cults, which were in evidence from late pre-dynastic times, were widespread in Egypt. Horus appeared as a local god in many places and under different names and epithets, for instance, as Harmakhis, Harpocrates, Harsiisis, Herakti, and at Kamambo as Heriris. At Nekon, Greek, Hierakonpolis, however, the conception arose that the reigning king was a manifestation of Horus, and, after Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt had been united by the kings from Nekon, this notion became a generally accepted dogma. The most important of an Egyptian king's names, the number of which grew from 3 in early dynastic times to 5 later, was his Horus name, i.e., the name that identified him with Horus. This name appeared on monuments and tombs in a rectangular frame called a serek. In addition to being characterized by a Horus name, the king was typically depicted with a hovering form of Horus above his head. Sometimes Horus is shown as a winged sun disk, representing the Horus of Beyday, a town in the Nile River Delta where the falcon god enjoyed a cult. From the First Dynasty, circa 2925 to 2775 BCE, onward, Horus and the god Seth were presented as perpetual antagonists who were reconciled in the harmony of Upper and Lower Egypt. In the myth of Osiris, who became prominent about 2350 BCE, Horus was the son of Osiris and Isis and was the nephew of Seth, Osiris's brother. When Seth murdered Osiris and contested Horus's heritage, the royal throne of Egypt, Horus became Seth's enemy. Horus eventually defeated Seth, thus avenging his father and assuming the rule. In the fight, Horus's left eye, i.e., the moon, was damaged, this being a mythical explanation of the moon's phases, and was healed by the god Thoth. The figure of the restored eye, the Wedjat eye, became a powerful amulet. Horus is also associated, sometimes as son, sometimes as partner, with the ancient cow goddess Hathor, who is often depicted with cow's horns, sometimes with cow's ears. Deity worship rituals dedicated to Horus, the falcon-headed god of kingship, the sky, and war in ancient Egyptian mythology, were an essential aspect of religious practices during the pharaonic era. Offerings and sacrifices. Worshippers would make offerings of food, drink, incense, and other symbolic items to honor Horus. These offerings were believed to sustain the god and demonstrate the worshipper's devotion and respect. Prayers and invocations. Priests and worshippers would recite prayers and invocations praising Horus and seeking his protection, guidance, and blessings. These prayers often emphasized Horus's role as a powerful defender and protector of the kingdom. Rituals at temples. Temples dedicated to Horus served as important centers of worship, where priests conducted rituals and ceremonies on behalf of the community. These rituals often included purification rites, processions, and symbolic reenactments of mythological events associated with Horus. Festivals and celebrations. Ancient Egyptians celebrated various festivals dedicated to Horus throughout the year. These festivals involved elaborate rituals, processions, and offerings to honor the god and commemorate significant events in his mythological narrative. Symbolic representations, symbols associated with Horus, such as the falcon, the eye of Horus, known as the Wajet, or Eye of Ra, and the double crown, symbolizing kingship and sovereignty, played important roles in worship rituals. These symbols were believed to invoke the presence and protection of the god. Amulets and talismans. Worshippers often wore amulets and talismans featuring symbols of Horus for protection against evil forces and to invoke the god's blessings in daily life. Overall, deity worship rituals dedicated to Horus were a vital aspect of ancient Egyptian religious life, reflecting the importance of the god as a symbol of kingship, protection, and divine authority. These rituals serve to maintain the cosmic order, Ma'at, and ensure the prosperity and well-being of the kingdom under the watchful eye of Horus.